Hello and welcome back everyone to this another video of vocabulary story. So today we talk about Vaikunt. Okay, Vaikunt is a place where Vishnu lives. Vishnu, the ultimate preserver of this universe, the divine manifestation of Dharma. Alright, so let's talk about how exactly each and every story that is there in our culture finds its way to Vishnu. Okay, any given cultural story, any festival you see, there will be an indelible mark of Vishnu on it. By indelible, I mean a mark that is not easy to remove and it is of permanent nature. Alright. So Vaikunt is the place where Vishnu resides. Alright, it is our definition of heaven. Now there are two gatekeepers of Vaikunt. Gatekeepers meaning people who stand guard at the gates and decide whether they have to allow or decide somebody to enter into Vaikunt. Now there were four people. They are known or they are referred to as Kumaras. Sanatana, and there are two other names that I cannot recall right now. But there are four people, and they wish to see Vishnu, and they reach up to the gates of Vaikunt. Okay, and there the two doorkeepers, that is Jaya and Vijaya. Okay, they stop them. They are like, okay, you are small children. And Vishnu is very deep in his sleep and we cannot disturb him. So these four people who had come to visit Vishnu, they feel disrespected, they feel insulted, and they curse. Okay, they curse the two gatekeepers of Vaikunt, that is Jaya and Vijaya, that you will fall from Vaikunt and you will be born as mortals on this earth. And this curse sets into motion that are eventually going to be the reason why we celebrate a lot of our festivals. Okay. Now after they were cursed, Jaya and Vijaya, the gatekeepers, after they were cursed, Vishnu, he magically appears in front of them. Okay. And he tells Jaya and Vijaya that it is all part of his Leela. Alright. Just like everything else, everything that happens to us is, the Leela that has been written or, unhone hi racha hai sab. So he appears before them and he gives them two options to Jaya and Vijaya. Since they were extreme and staunch devotees of Vishnu, they couldn't comprehend this idea of separation from their master. So Vishnu, he gives them two options that, alright, since now you'll be born as a mortal on earth, I give you two options. Number one is you will have 7 births as regular human beings, okay, and as my devotees. You can walk this earth as my devotees for 7 births. Option number 2, however, was the complicated one, and eventually it was the second option that Jaya and Vijaya took. The second option was that you can be born for 3 births, but in this 3 births, you will be my enemies. Okay, and eventually it would have to be me or my incarnation, that is Vishnu's incarnation, that would kill them. So what do you think Jaya and Vijaya would have chosen? Obviously they went for option number 2, because for them it was like, okay, we will stay far away from our Lord for 3 births, and in those 3 births, since we are at direct loggerheads with Vishnu, we will see him constantly, we will be in touch with him constantly, and for them the second option was a better one. And after choosing the second option comes the Satyug, that is the first true era of this earth, the Satyuga. In the Satyug, the Jaya and Vijaya, the gatekeepers of Vaikunt, they were born as the Hiranyas. Now Hiranyas were 2 brothers, the Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashyap. In some references, people also call them as Hiranyakashyapu, that is a separate story. But yes, so they were 2 brothers. Okay. Now as Vishnu had himself said that it is part of my Leela that now you are born as my enemies, I will be the one who will slay you, or I will be the one who will kill you. Okay. So Hiranyaksh, as the name suggests, he was a Daitya. as there are a lot of distinctions based on how you describe a person in our Puranas and the Vedic literature. We'll not get into it right now because this is not an academic and all that thing. But yes, Hiranyaksh, what he did was metaphorically he captured the entire earth and he had pushed the Bhumi Devi into the cosmic ocean. Okay. Now this was what angered Vishnu, and the Vishnu takes Varaha avatar. He pulls out the earth, that is Bhumi Devi, from the cosmic ocean and slays Hiranyaksh. Now Hiranyakashipu was the brother of Hiranyaksh. He was angered by such action, and he did an like a very strong penance, that is tapasya of Brahma. And eventually and gradually Brahma was impressed by his penance, by his commitment, by his consistency and everything, and he appears before him and he asks Brahma for a boon of immortality. That is, nothing that is born out of Brahma, no human being, no creature, no place, no weapon shall have the ability to kill me. Okay, and this was a boon that was granted to Hiranyakashipu by Brahma himself. Now, since he had this boon of immortality, there were constant clashes between him and the other devas. That now that he was invincible, immortal, he could flex on others. Hiranyakashipu also had a sister named Holika. Holika also had a boon that she was immune to fire. Fire is, like we say, one of the Panchtantras of the earth. Okay, one of the 5 elements of the earth. So she was immune to fire. Again, there are references in our Arya and Vedic literature about who exactly was granting all these boons to them. So I think Vishnu Purana, Bhagavad Purana, all these scriptures, they corroborate the story that I am telling you. Alright. So she had a boon, and okay, can you imagine the layers to this story? So let me put it out for you so you can clearly comprehend. Hiranyakashipu, who himself is a devotee of Vishnu, is born as Hiranyakashipu. Now he is angered by the very same person of whom he is a devotee, that is Vishnu. Why? Because Vishnu in the form of Varaha avatar killed his brother, that was Hiranyaksh. Okay, but how would the fate have it is his own son, that is Prahlad, his own son Prahlad, the son of Hiranyakashipu, turns out to be a devotee of Vishnu, and his father was obviously angered by it. He was like, okay, I have the boon of immortality, I am the invincible warrior that this earth has, and how can my own son be a devotee of Vishnu, who is my direct competitor? Okay, so yes, in the Satyug, Vishnu had to come into 2 incarnations. Number 1 was Varaha avatar, number 2 was Narasimha avatar. He comes and he protects Prahlad. This is exactly the definition of dharma. Okay, dharma is this cosmic order. Okay, a chain of events, a series of events that has been put into motion by Brahma himself when he himself manifested or transformed into giving us this material world, or giving us this bone and flesh or this human body. He set into motion a chain of events, a cosmic order, the way how things are supposed to proceed, the chronological order of things, the consistency, the uniformity of the cosmic events. Everything was set into motion. So this motion, this cyclical motion, is what we define as dharma. Okay. Now the boon that was granted to Holika was that she had an immunity from fire. Okay, but she used that boon to disturb that cosmic order. Okay, to disrupt that cosmic order. How? Because since Prahlad was the devotee of Vishnu, and Hiranyakashipu knew that his sister had this boon, so he organized a small play, okay, a small gimmick, if you might use that word, and he asked his sister to take Prahlad on her lap and sit on the pyre, and Prahlad agreed that okay, I am a devotee of Vishnu. If this is what the cosmic order ordains me or impresses upon me to do, because cosmic order is like an infallible order. You cannot disrupt it. If you disrupt it, you invite or elicit the anger of Varuna. That is a separate story, we'll come to it. But right now, he was like, okay, if this is my fate, if this is Vishnu's Leela, let it be. I will sit on the lap of, Hiranyaksha's sister, and he sits, okay? And what do you know? The boon that Holika had, it withers away. It does not sustain when the fire is lit. So even if you have a boon from the highest authority, that is Brahma, it is said that it was Brahma indeed who granted the boon to Holika, but that is not the point, who granted the boon. The point is, when you have an extraordinary ability, when you have an extraordinary talent, when you have an extraordinary or a different skill set, you must use that in the furtherance or the flourishment of dharma, not in the opposite way. And that is exactly what Holika did when they tried to test Prahlad's devotion to Vishnu. And hence, the boon did not sustain when she sat on that fire. And Prahlad was miraculously saved by Vishnu's grace. And we know what in further Vishnu takes the Narasimha avatar and slays Hiranyakashipu. So this was the first birth. In the next birth, both Jaya and Vijaya, the gatekeepers of Vaikunt, they are born as Rama and Kumbhakaran. In the next yuga, Ravana and Kumbhakaran, who are again slain by Ram, who is an incarnation of Vishnu. Then thirdly, I think Shishupal, and I don't recall another name, Shishupal and somebody else, but they were also born, that was the third birth of Jaya and Vijaya, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, and Krishna kills them. Krishna is again an incarnation of Vishnu, and this is how, after 3 births, both the devotees of Vishnu return to Vaikuntha. And the reason why I am telling you this story right now, because today is the festival of Holi, and this is the reason why we celebrate Holi. And you would increasingly see that there is this tendency among people, especially the people who live in the urban areas, they want to separate our festivals from the Arya Dharma. Okay? That's not how it works. All our festivals, they find explicit and specific mentions in our scriptures, in our literature, in our canons. Okay? So you cannot simply separate the intellectual core or the intellectual basis that our festivals have, and those bases specifically come from our scriptures.